Time for me to start building my counterflow chiller. I've got everything I need here. I've got some 1mm wire. I'm going to use this 1mm wire to wrap around the copper pipe to make a spiral so that I create some turbulence with the cold water that runs over top of it. And a coil of 12mm copper pipe and all my brass fittings to go with it. Next thing I have is some 19mm PVC hose. Now this is the hose that's going to run the water through, and the copper pipe is going to go inside the center of this. So the beer runs through the copper pipe and the water runs over the outside and spirals around with the wire that creates a little bit of turbulence in there. Next job is just to check for lumps and make sure that there's no sharp bits poking out. There's one there. Make sure that it gets filed down so it doesn't pierce a hole in the tube or scratch the tube. So let's go through and do that, and then we'll attempt to fit this big long copper pipe into that rubber tube with the aid of some Palmolive dishwashing liquid as a lubricant. That'll be fun. Okay. Next job is to roll it. The easiest thing I've found to roll up coils is a corny key. Just so happens that this one's full. Never mind. I put a carpet mat down because I don't want the pipe scratched as I roll. Just sculpt some mail. It's new and it's blue, baby. Next thing to do is to start looking at putting it all together. Chucked on some cable ties just to keep everything tight together. Just want to play around with it. Okay, this is where I'm up to at the moment. I've got the joint for the clear pipe in, and it's got a pipe clamp on it to hold it all nice and tight. I've got a little mark on the pipe where I'm going to chop the pipe off, and that mark should coincide that the copper pipe just comes through into that lip in there. So that means that I can get in there with a gas torch and give it a little bit of a quick solder and seal it up. But it actually is a very, very nice, tight, snug fit. So I might not have to do that at all. Alrighty. Now a good thing is that the triclovers that I'm going to be fitting into the end of here to connect up for my beer line, the hole in here fits the copper. So it's not going to clash at all. Everything should be fine. I think I might be able to get away without having to weld the copper pipe in the end of there. So I'm going to try it without having to weld it first to see if there's any leaks. Hopefully there's not. If there is, I'll weld it up. Right. And we'll give it a wet test without it welded. So there we go, that will connect onto there and away we go. There we go. There's one fitting ready to go. Next one we have a swivel fitting for the tap because I've noticed sometimes it's a pain to try and connect things up and you need a little bit of movement there. So I splashed out and brought a swivel fitting so that I don't get stuck with a tap or the hose going in the wrong direction. Plus there's the bit that we put onto the brass pipe. There's a bit, the 1/2 inch connector, NTP connector that connects the plastic pipe to the T. And the reducer that allows me to put a tap fitting directly onto the T. This was just the right inside diameter to create its own thread, so it may be perfectly fine without having a hose fitting on it, but may is never a certainty, so it's better to put a hose fitting on it just to make sure, remembering that there's going to be hot liquid running through this and everything's going to expand and contract a little bit. This build was actually a lot easier than what I thought it would be. I thought I'd get stuck trying to screw things in and not having any movement, but it appears that everything has come together quite nicely. Okay. Yep, wrong end. We're ready to go. Let's have a small leak coming out where the copper pipe meets the connector in here. I should be able to fix it up. The other end has the same thing as well. It's only small, and I should be able to flare out the end of that and just make sure it's nice and sealed, or try and give it a weld. Other than that, there's no other leaks. I'll give it all a nice tighten up and we're good to go. Now, I tried to solder where the brass and the copper pipe meet just to fill in those little leaks that I had there, but it was a bloody hard job to try and get some solder in there, and after a lot of playing around I ended up just flaring out the end of that pipe and it seemed to do the trick. It sealed it off quite nicely. Okay, it's time to give this thing a crack. I've connected it up to my kettle and I've got 20 litres of water boiling in there. So first off, let's get the counterflow working with some cold water running through it. I've love this bit. I love the way that the bubbles vortex around those wires. It looks really neat. Now my water's boiled and it's resting at 96.9 degrees now. So I've got everything connected up. Now I want to control the water flow with my valve. I also put a pump in line though, just in case I needed to boost it. Now the cold water is going to come out of here and into the sink. And I got the cold water coming in this way and it spirals around. And this is where my warm beer will come out. Now the cold water is at 13.5 degrees, so that's pretty good to cool it down. So I'll turn the valve on a little bit and just start the flow. I've turned the background noise off because I had to rush and go for a pee all the time. But let's just hold the thermometer here for a while and just see what the temperature stabilizes out at. It's slowly increasing just a little bit. Okay, it's finally stopped at 21.5 degrees, which is pretty damn good for considering that the water temperature coming out is 95.7. So I'd say that that's a success. And to feel it, the pipe isn't that hot. Still bloody hot here though, where it comes out of the kettle. So I'll just quickly check the temperature here and just see what the temperature is coming out, because it was a bit warm to touch. But anyway, that's my Counterflow chiller. If you've got any questions, please comment, subscribe, ask me anything, and yeah, cheers. Thanks a lot for watching.